What is up, guys? Today I'm gonna show you how to make a file searcher using C#. Okay, what you're gonna need a Visual Studio. If you don't have Visual Studio, I will provide the link just underneath the subscription. Okay, now the first thing you're gonna do is go to File, click New, and then Project, and then you're gonna select Windows Forms application, and then I'm gonna name this file C Searcher. Okay, and now this is where we're gonna create our interface for our file searcher. So I'm gonna look for a label here. Here it is. I'm gonna click it and then go to the properties panel here, and I'm gonna change the text to search directory. Okay, and then I'm gonna select another control here, the text box. This is where we're gonna enter the directory where we wanna search files. Okay, so I'm gonna select it here, and then I'm gonna change its name. I'm gonna call it TB search there. Okay, and then I'm gonna select a label again here, and I'm gonna rename its text to term. This is gonna be the term that we will be searching for. And then the next thing I'm gonna select the text box again here. Just enlarge it a bit here. Okay, and then I'm gonna rename it to TB term. Okay, and then now I'm gonna search for the progress bar here. Here it is here. I'm just gonna resize it here. Okay, and then I'm gonna rename it to PV progress. I'm gonna search for the list box now. I'm gonna resize it. You can resize it whatever size you think it's necessary. I'm just gonna make it like this here. And then the last control I'm gonna use is the button. I'm gonna click it, and then I'm gonna rename it to search, btn search. And then I'm gonna rename the text also. I'm gonna call it search. Okay, I think now we are done with the interface. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for the background worker. The background worker, we're gonna use it to run tasks in the background. So the file searching is gonna work in the background, because if it doesn't work in the background thread, it's gonna interrupt our user interface here. So I'm just gonna look for background worker. Here it is here, and I'm just gonna grab it and put it here. I'm gonna click it, and then I'm just gonna rename it BG worker. Okay, now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a class by right clicking my solution, add, and then let me check something here. Okay, I'm gonna right click my project C Searcher here, click add, and then my class. I'm gonna name it searcher. Okay, this will be the class that's gonna search for our files in the background. Now I'm gonna have some fields here. There's gonna be term. This will be the term we are searching for, and then there's gonna be a directory. I'm just gonna name it there. This is where we wanna search for our files. And then now I'm gonna create a property. I think they call it a property. I can't remember properly what they call it, but I'm gonna create it here. Call it term, and then I'm gonna initialize the term here in my set block is equal to value, and then I'm just gonna return term. Okay, and then now I'm just gonna copy this again and paste it here and rename this to dir, then dir. Okay, and then now I'm gonna create my constructor here. Excuse me. Okay, so our constructor is going to take in the term argument. I'm actually going to start with the dir and then the term. Okay, and then this dot dir is equal to dir, and then this dot term is equal to term. Okay, and then I'm gonna create the private method here. This method will be the core of this searcher class. This is where the heavy work is gonna happen. So it's gonna be private for now. Not for now, it's gonna be private up until I finish this program. Okay, so it's gonna take in an argument of a directory. Okay, and then I'm gonna create a string array here, call it files, and then I'm gonna use the directory class here. Okay, so I need to import this directory class. So what I need to do is hold Control and press a dot or a period if you are in America, and then I'm gonna click import system.io. Okay, and then from the directory class I'm gonna call the getFiles method. Okay, and then I'm gonna create another array here. This one I'm gonna call it dirs, which is short for directories, and then this time I'm gonna call directory.get get directories. Okay, and then now I'm gonna create a list here. I'm gonna call it all files. I must change this to list, not string. Okay, and then I'm gonna call all files add range. I'm gonna supply the files array. Okay, and then again I'm gonna call add range, and this time I'm gonna add the directories here. Okay, I'm gonna call it this. Okay, and then now what I need to do is scan each and every file that is within the all files list here. So I'm gonna use the for each method here. I mean the for each keyword here. String s in all files. Okay, and then now what I need to do is I'm gonna create a variable inside here. I'm gonna call it _s. Okay, it'll just convert this to lowercase, because now we're gonna convert everything to lowercase because we want our search to be case insensitive. So if, for example, you're searching for Seth, it's gonna be Seth regardless of whether you've put it in capital letters or lowercase letters. So we want our match to be case insensitive. Okay, and then now I'm gonna create another variable here. And then I'm gonna call it term, and then it's gonna be this dot our term, and then we also convert it to lowercase here. To lower, not to lowercase, excuse me. Okay, now we've made our variables. Now what we need to do is check if our term matches the file name we are searching for. Okay, so I'm just gonna say if as, actually I need to check something before I do this. I'm gonna check if the file we are currently scanning is a directory. Okay, so I'm just gonna say if directory.exist and then s, and then also I need to check if my directory is not the current directory or it's not the previous directory. So in order to do that, I say s not equal to dot, and then s not equal to 2 dots here, which symbolizes the previous directory, and then the 1 dot here symbolizes the current directory. You don't need to scan for the current directory, because the current directory would be the one we are busy scanning, so we don't need to do that again and again. Otherwise it's gonna cause an infinite loop here. Okay, okay, if it's a directory, then we continue, and then we're gonna recursively call our method to scan inside the folders, to scan all the folders, all the files inside that directory. So as an argument here, I'm gonna provide the s here. Okay, now what we need to do here is we're gonna check for matches here, whether our current term matches the current file we are searching for. So I'm just gonna say if s, remember the _s, we converted it to lowercase, if it contains our term _term, Then inside this code we're gonna do we're gonna do something if it matches that our current file we're searching for. So now I need to implement something called a delegate. Okay, I will return back to this code here. I just need to implement something called a delegate before I can implement this code here. So I'm gonna go on top here, and then I'm gonna create a delegate. A delegate is like a function. So it's almost like a function that you can call. But the difference is that function can contain different code, different implementation of that code. So now I'm just gonna call this file found. Okay, and then this delegate will take in a string. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go here to my searcher class, and I'm gonna declare an event handler here. So I'm gonna say public event, and then say file found, and then I'm gonna call it on file found. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go back to my scan method. Now what I'm gonna do here is every time when a match is found, when a file match is found, I'm gonna call this event here. I'm gonna call this event. So another class will register for this event here, and then while I do the searching in the background, then this event here will be fired, and everyone who registered with this event will be notified. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do here, I'm simply gonna call on file found. Okay, and then I will just provide my method here. Let me the string as an argument here. Okay, we are done with our scan method. Now what we need to do is implement the search method. Okay, call it search, and then now I'm simply gonna call the scan method. That's all we're gonna do basically here. And then as an argument, I'm gonna provide our directory that was specified here. Okay, I think we are done with our search class here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to my form here, and then I'm gonna double click my window here to enter my form. And then now I'm gonna I'm gonna create a method here. I'm gonna call it work in background, and then Okay, remember that we created our background worker while we were designing our form. Here it is. Here it's called BG worker. Now what we need to do is we need to assign the method that's gonna be executed in the background. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna say BG worker and then do work, and then I'm gonna add this method here. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that when the background worker is running in the background, it's gonna execute this method here. Okay, so now I'm gonna create our searcher class here, and then inside the form constructor I'm simply gonna initialize it. New searcher, and then initially our values is gonna be null for now. Okay, now in my working background method, I'm simply just gonna put searcher dot search. Okay, that's about it. And then now what I need to do is I'm gonna write a method here that's gonna be notified when our background worker is finished executing. So I'm just gonna say worker completed, check sender, and then run worker completed. Okay, and then I'm simply gonna show a message box. Okay, when our background worker is finished working, I'm simply gonna say done. Okay, and then now what I need to do is assign that worker completed delegate here. So I'm simply gonna call worker completed here, copy this word here, and then paste it here. Okay, let me check now if I didn't make any silly mistakes here. I'm gonna run my program now. Okay, I'm gonna go to my desktop here. Okay, I'm simply gonna copy this address here. The file I'm gonna search for is any file that contains the word upside. Okay, I'm gonna paste here, and then I'm gonna type upside. Wait, there's something I didn't do here. There's one last step I missed here. Let me finish it quick. Now I need to assign my file found method here. I need to register it with the searcher. So I'm just gonna say file found. Let me go back to my searcher here. Okay, and then string path. Okay, all right. And then now I go here and assign my own file found. I'm simply gonna say file found here. Okay, so every time when a match is found, this function will be called here. Now you must remember that our background worker will be working on a separate thread, and now Windows controls are not allowed to be accessed in any other thread than the one that's created it. So what I need to do now, in order to get access to my control here, I'm simply gonna say LB. Let me check something here. Okay, I didn't rename my list box. I'm simply gonna rename this to LB file found. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back here. Okay, now I'm gonna say LB found file found, and then I'm gonna say begin execution. Begin invoke. Okay, and then I'm gonna typecast this to an action. An action class is simply a class that represents a delegate that has no arguments. Okay, so I'm gonna say delegate okay, and then now I'm gonna call the LB file found, and then items, and then I'm gonna add the file match I found here. You must remember that in order for me to call this method, I need to call it inside a thread that's created it. This is why I'm simply not just calling it. I could easily do this. I could easily just copy this code and paste it here. This will cause problems because now background worker will be executing in the background. Let me show you an example here. What will happen if I don't put it inside the begin invoke method here. So I'm just gonna say path here. Okay, now I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go to my desktop here and copy this again. Okay, I'm gonna search for upside. Oh, I forgot to do something here. I need to bind this button here. I need to bind it to an event so that it's able to respond to the actions of my desire. So I'm just gonna double click it here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say this dot searcher, and then term, I'm simply gonna say tb term, and then assign the directory. It's simply gonna be the text inside our text box here. So I'm gonna say tb search the. Okay, and then now what I need to do is call the bg worker, call the run worker async. Okay, okay, so now I'm gonna run my program again here. And then I'm gonna search for upside. Okay, you see what I've been talking about here. You see cross-thread operations not valid, and you see it refers to this code here. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove this code here, and then I'm gonna uncomment this, and then now I'm gonna call this method inside our begin invoke method here. So I'm just gonna click start, and then now I'm gonna run it again. I'm gonna search for upside, click search. Okay, now as you can see, it find our files here. Okay, now in the next part of this tutorial, we're gonna learn how to we're gonna write code to open this file here, or even open the directory in which it resides here. So yeah, thank you very much people for watching this tutorial. Don't forget to like or subscribe to my channel, and if you actually want a full tutorial of C#, you can just comment there below and I'll do it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.